riding by on their horse, and I wanted to go see it real quick. Lots of love and blessings from Ohio. Hello, hello, greetings to you. Go live more often. When is the Quince de Abby? Alright guys, the Quince for Abby is so soon. I feel like we're a little stressed. There's been so much going on. Oh, what's for dinner? Okay, so a friend of ours was selling tamales at her little tienda yesterday, fresh ones, and we bought 2 dozen.
Yeah.
We bought 2 dozen plus she made some cherry ones. The cherry ones were so good, you guys. But we've had those left over since yesterday. So we made some baby steak and we've had some tamales, some things like that. Hi from Ventura, California.
Man, Ventura's really, or it was at least, but it was really nice.
Oh, really? You know
Yeah.
where Ventura is?
Yeah.
Hi, how are both of you doing? We're doing really good. And we wanted to go live more often, you guys, but I feel like me and my husband tell each other, we're like, oh, we're gonna go live tonight. And then the kids want to go to the plaza. Or we end up like getting super tired. And today we're like, we're doing it no matter what. I'm just excited to catch up with this beautiful family. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Saludas from Rialto, California.
Yeah.
Hello guys, how are y'all doing? Hi. Hi from Dallas, Texas. Hi from Jalisco. Santa Barbara, it's beautiful here. Ventura is so nice. Hi from Wilmington, California. Christina, hi.
Harbor area.
Hello, beautiful family. Modesto, California. It's 110 right now. Wow. Oh my gosh. Greetings from stormy Houston, Texas. We had a hurricane here and no power. Oh wow. Trekking through New Mexico. Wow. Hello from Holland, Michigan. Holland's so beautiful. My husband has taken the train from Holland to Chicago before.
That's actually a really nice ride.
I know, I've never got to do it. I really want to. Hello from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Orange County, California. Beautiful family from Fontana, California. Las Vegas. I'm watching old videos with the piggy. Do you get a good price for him? We kind of got a good price for him. He was a lot more work than I thought he would be. I wouldn't mind getting more pigs now that my husband's here to help. He just set up automatic waterers. And they don't even use electricity, do they?
No.
No, he just like DIY'd these waterers. It was so cool. So with him here, it would be a lot easier. I was a little bit afraid of the pig as well. It got really big.
I mean, having pigs is like a sweet spot where you gotta keep it underneath that or you're not gonna make any money.
Right. And it did take us a while to sell him because there was not a need for pigs within the couple weeks that he was ready to go. So then you're still taking those 2 weeks that you thought he was going to be gone and buying him feed. And that's hard. But it probably wouldn't have been like that if my husband was here because he can communicate better with the family and friends around here. Hello from Hope's Mill, North Carolina. How long have you lived in Mexico? We have lived in Mexico 5 years now. Continue to bless your whole family. Oh, Tokyo, Japan. My little girls would think that's so cool. They love watching like many things on people living in Tokyo.
What was his name? I have some family members here that one of their sons is in Tokyo for his job.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Michael's brother.
He's in Tokyo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my goodness. I cannot wait for your daughter's quinceañera. I know it's going to be such a beautiful party. Oh, thank you. I was thinking today because the kids came to practice and I was just like praying that it is such a blessed night and I stopped worrying because I want our family to have such a good time. I'm new to your channel in the USA. Love from California. Hello from Michigan. Hi. Hello from Fair Oaks, California, 20 miles east of Sacramento. Hola, qué bonita familia, saludas.
Saludos.
So, I wanted to tell you guys, Abby's quince is coming up. It's gonna be at the end of July, and my husband and I took the boys that are in the quince to Ototanico to pick up their boots. And I can't even express to you guys how happy and how grateful they were. They did such a good job going with us too.
They did. They weren't like fussy at all or like picky.
No.
We pretty much had to tell them, hey, you guys don't have to pick the same boot. You know what I
You
mean?
can pick anything you
Yeah.
want. And it's funny because it's just how kids are raised in Mexico too. They're raised with so much like respect for other people. It was so fun bringing them. It was joyful. And it was just funny when they picked their boots because they're such boys. Like when we bring our girls places, we do not stop at one store. We go to like 5 different stores. And the boys stopped at one store and they're like, oh, look at these black boots. Then they were worried about the price of the boots. And we were like, you guys don't have to worry about the price. I was like, people in our YouTube donated towards this. So they picked out their boots. They were so happy they were dancing in them. And then we are still taking them to get matching belts and hats. So we have to bring them back out there along with the Quince girls. And Abby has to pick her bailar sorpresa dress. So I feel like we still have a lot to do. It makes me nervous. And I'm loving them and being in California. It's very nice to find these kinds of videos. Such a beautiful family. How far are you from Guadalajara and do you visit there? My husband and I went there on July 2nd for the annual vacation. Here's 25 years. We go to Guadalajara sometimes. And the first time I really got to walk through Guadalajara was for Abigail's quinceañera dress. I don't know what part we were in. Do you remember?
It's Centro Histórico.
It was so beautiful. I wish I could bring her back with her quince dress on to do photos there. I don't think I'll have enough time to do that. Even us, we've been trying to plan her quinceañera photos, and every time we pick a day, it rains. And I like to do my photos a little bit later in the evening, around 6. So we are really trying to find a day it's not raining and get her out there for the quince photos.
Saludos a todos los de Chicago. And yes, we do have a P.O. box. It's in the description.
If I did not shake my grandparents' hand, I was in trouble. Lalo, you are familiar with the Plan Jalisco. Yes. Yeah, the kids are raised differently here. They are very, very respectful. It's just the way it is. And it's funny because when you're in Mexico, you can tell the kids that were raised in the ranchos in Mexico and the kids that were raised in the city in Mexico. I love to see your husband being more involved with the channel. I follow you from the beginning and here in Tokyo. Keep it up. You're doing great. Oh, thank you so much. It's been raining in Houston, Texas a lot. Yes, it's been raining here a lot too. Family and celebrations are sacred. Get us caught. Yes. Saludas de Bay Area, San Francisco, California. Hi, Luis.
Saludos a todos de San Francisco.
Hello from Benson, North Carolina, from the Dominguez Paletieres family. We love you guys and your family. Oh, thank you so much, Melissa. That's so sweet of you. Do your kids miss the U.S.? They miss the summers sometimes because my mom would bring them camping a lot. So they miss camping, but they don't miss the U.S. in the sense of wanting to live there. They love Mexico. If we brought them out here right now, they would tell you the same thing.
Honestly, I think it's not just me, but like my wife's side of the family also thinks it's weird that my wife's side of the family has a huge motorhome. They have camping reservations all summer. There's all kinds of things to do there, and my kids would rather still be in Mexico. I don't know if that's like, I don't know if it's just because of their friends or what the deal is with that. But I think they see both sides of the United States and Mexico. They see that, they do have things to do there. But I don't know.
It's kind of like they're missing friends though too. And I told the kids, I was like, you guys don't understand. If you lived in the States, your friends wouldn't come up to the house and say, let's go to the campo. And you'd get to walk up there with them and stay until it's dark and then come home. And here in Mexico, they get to do that. And when I was a kid, I got to do that. But now things have changed in the United States. And it feels sometimes like Mexico got stuck in time, especially in these little ranchos. And that's something I love about it here. I will tell you one thing though. I was just thinking this the other day because my son Cristiano, he likes my computer. I have a computer I edit photos on, and he's so interested in it. And I was thinking, in the United States, they have computer class, and a lot of things are digital.
Yeah.
Here in Mexico, there is no computer class. Nothing in school is digital. They still have the books, they still have the heavy backpacks. They are still writing on paper. They still learn cursive, you guys. Like, that's the thing in Mexico too, from a young age. And not only that, we went to the graduations, and I'm posting Penelope's graduation tonight. And you know, in the United States, how you would say the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't know if they do that in school anymore, but in Mexico, the Pledge of Allegiance for Mexico is very, very important for the school.
Yeah, they have to have it memorized, sorry.
No, that's okay. They do, and they're proud to be Mexican. They're proud where they're from. It's very important to them. And I thought that was so curious. That was a big part of the graduation, was the Mexican flag and the Mexican anthem. I'm not sure in the States, like when your kids graduate, if that's how it is in the United States anymore or not.
They still have to write out, like say they mess up something, they're still expected to have like neat handwriting. Mm-hmm. If it's not neat enough, they have to, I can't remember what that's called. Do you remember when you had to write out a whole thing like 30 times or whatever it is? I don't know what that's called, but they have to do that. That's their punishment. They have to write it till it's neat enough.
Yeah, they expect it to be done nicely, and I think that's because they don't have a full 8 hours in school. They have the 4. Mm-hmm. So I feel like they're gonna have you doing it correctly and in the right way.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll read some of these.
Hold on. I want to answer something. Somebody asked on here if I prefer to live in Michigan or Mexico. I prefer to live in Mexico. Mexico is, I know my kids like Mexico. Maybe my wife loves Mexico, but it means more to me than just a country or a state or everything that's in Mexico reminds me of my parents or my dad. I mean, he's passed, so it's something more to me. Mm-hmm.
Kind of like because his parents moved to the United States as immigrants, and they sacrificed a lot. I feel like his mom and dad, but also my husband and his siblings, for them to be able to have the chance to live in Mexico. Like, it's funny because you'd think it would be the chance for them to live in the United States. And me and my husband were just talking about that today, and I was like, I feel like your dad, because the house we're living in right now, my suegra's home is kind of big, and they didn't have to build a big home like this. And I was like, I swear, I wonder if your dad prepared this home so you guys could have the decision between living in the United States or living here. I think his dad's seen the benefit in both places. And I remember before my husband's dad passed away, he barely spoke any English. My suegra had to translate a lot, and he came to the house, and this was probably a month before he passed away, and my husband wasn't there, and he said, Aaron, Lalo needs to go to Mexico. He's like, his mind is too occupied on like work, and it's not healthy for him. He should be in Mexico living. And at that time, I was like, we can't just go to Mexico. Like, we have a whole entire home in Michigan, and we have all this stuff. And I didn't see then that what he was telling me, and now we live here, and we love it, and we feel like we can take a deep breath.
I don't know that. You guys tell me if you guys have older kids. My dad living would, I think he talked to us about different things, all of us together or separate, because I've asked my brothers and sisters and stuff if they had the same conversation. Mine and my dad's conversation was always some sort of plan with either the house here in Mexico or the house in Michigan or something along with, something he wanted to do, or just future plans. Mm-hmm. So now I'm kind of stuck with those plans. You know what I mean? I at least want to see me doing some of them. You know what I mean? What I can. That's where that importance for me comes. You know what I mean? Just to know that I did some of the things my dad wanted to do.
All right, and then we'll start answering some of the questions. It says, hi, I'm hopping on. I may have missed the answer to this, You're getting a welding job in Mexico now. Also enjoying making your recipes that you keep showing us. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so right now my husband does have his welding degree. So I'm doing photography too, so that's helping with an income. He needed to get things settled. I can't wait to show you guys the vlog of how beautiful the backyard looks and how well the animals are taken care of. We would really love, we want to start selling goat cheese as soon as the goat is old enough to have babies. We want to do an organic vegetable stand, so we really have to figure out where we can start planting vegetables and how we can start preparing for that. And then I feel like me and my husband both have different things we're good at. So with welding, if things come up where somebody needs him to weld and he'd get paid for it, he'd want to do that. But I don't think that's going to be our main focus right now. I don't think, do you?
There's just a lot of maintenance. I mean, I've been gone for a year, so there's just a lot of maintenance for me to do. Like, I know you guys probably can't tell how big this property is on video, but it literally takes me all day. I'm literally outside all day, just doing just random things. I feel like one project turns into like 10.
Right. It says hello from Dallas, Texas. Hello, Linda.
Saludos a todos de Texas.
Do you guys worry about safety? Okay, so that's a good question because when I wanted to move to Mexico, oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I wanted to tell you guys when I moved to Mexico, I was terrified about safety because I hadn't lived here fully and I was bringing all of my kids. I didn't know what to look for. And I was more scared of like dangerous animals, to be honest with you, at first, because I lived in Michigan. There was no venomous spiders or snakes or anything weird like that. I could drink the water out of the sink. So then moving here, my bigger fears were those things. And I've learned how to work through those fears, like mopping the house with a certain type of cleaner to help keep bugs out. We have jugs of water. But also, this community, this rancho, is filled with people. They're all our family and cousins. They all love each other, and everybody's watching out for each other. So obviously, you need to be cautious anywhere you live. We teach our children to be cautious anywhere, but we don't feel, at least I don't feel like afraid. We do anything cautiously, whether we're here or in the United States.
It's funny. I know a lot of people ask that, and I can't answer for other places because I have so much family around. If my kids go to the plaza or if they go to the store, more than likely somebody either owns that store that's related to me, or a family member or extended family member is at the plaza, or just watching over my kids. They're not gonna let my kids get into some random car or get hurt by somebody else. So that's why we kind of get a sense of peace. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's like foolish of us or not, but that's just the way we feel. We haven't really experienced not feeling safe.
And it's the way the culture is here. So for example, when we lived in Michigan, kids were not out walking to the park by themselves, riding bikes. But here, it's not just one of my kids walking alone. A whole group of friends comes to the door and is like, hey, we're going up to the campo, and I say, okay, be back in an hour, and they all come back, and they do watch out for each other. And I'm telling you, it's like, it's back in time. It's like when I was a little kid, and I had the freedom to go do those things.
I feel like we missed a whole bunch of questions.
I know. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm trying to catch up on the questions. Okay, greetings.
Why welding? Is that what it says?
Suka City? Yes.
So that's really easy answer. So for me, I had already been welding for 5 years, and I already knew how to do I was a TIG welder for 5 years before that, but for me, it would pay me the most amount of money for the littlest amount of time. So there's a welding course that you can do that's 4 months long, and it'll teach you everything you need to know about any kind of structural welding or any kind of welding that you'd want to do. And you'd make pretty good money. I mean, there's people out there that are making $100,000 out right out of school.
Right, so it was just basically a skill you wanted to go for.
Yeah.
And you felt like it would benefit
I really
our
wanted
family.
I really wanted to just learn more welding, more welding techniques, more of everything that had to do with welding.
Welding is awesome. You could do so much with that. I agree. And there's so much on our farm. Like, he welded these horseshoes to my future horse stall, because if you've been watching long enough, you know I love horses. I've loved horses since I was a little girl. And it's funny that, like, gifts God gives you bring joy to other people. And my husband welded these horseshoes onto my future horse's stall. And every time I go out there, I look at them and I'm like, that was such a special touch for him to do for me. You know, it feels special to me. So one day when I get to bring my horse back there, it just looks so beautiful.
So my wife thinking about getting a horse started 5 years ago. But I probably built those stalls 5 years ago.
Yeah. And then we've been fixing them up. They look so beautiful. My husband cleaned the area so nice. I really want to paint them black, because they're already painted black, but they're kind of dirty and stuff. That is like a goal of mine. My next project is to go back there and paint them black. I tried. Oh, shoot. Hi from New Mexico. Hola and hi. Hi. Hi from Illinois. Hold on, I wanted to go back on one of these.
Yeah. I feel like we missed a whole bunch of them.
Hello from Los Angeles. Love your videos. It's so awesome to see you and your family living in Mexico. Thank you, Jessica, so much. Okay, this is the one. Have you ever been to Tototlan?
I mean, we've driven through there. We haven't actually stopped there at all.
So I wanted to tell you guys something so cool. We went to Jamay, Jalisco a couple days ago. It was my daughter's graduation. We wanted to go out there to eat. This is where I mess up as like an American and forgetting the culture here in Mexico, because graduations are a very big deal. And after my youngest Penelope graduated from kindergarten, we were like, oh, let's go get something to eat. That would be nice. As we're driving through the ranch, everybody was having graduation parties with like big tents and balloons and cakes. And me and my husband look at each other.
And this isn't like high school or middle school. This is kindergarten.
Kindergarten, but they're having because in Mexico they love to celebrate. And I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't we plan a graduation party? I was thinking as an American, oh, let's go get something, let's go out to eat, you know? And then the rest of the ranch is throwing these huge fiestas at their house. So it was too late. So I was like, well, let's go out to Jamay, we'll go to a nice restaurant. The kids have so much fun. But there's these ruins in Jamay, and you can look them up, and it's this old church. And how many years ago was it? Like almost 400?
It was 351 years old.
And I couldn't wait to see them. My next vlog, you're going to see them too. They were so magical and amazing. And these ruins, pieces of rocks had fallen down and they had been written on. And I asked my husband, can you read this? And he's like, no, it's not in Spanish. So then when we left the ruins, now I thought we were going to have a guided tour because this is so historical. Some random guy unlocked it, let us in.
No, we ended up finding a building that we just kind of walked into. It was connected to this old church.
Abby.
And we asked about them. I was like, hey, do you guys know if you guys do tours, or is there any way we can look inside the church? And she goes, if you go back around and to the new church, there should be somebody there that'll give you a tour of certain places. I was like, okay, cool. So we go over there. This guy walks around, just opens the gate, and then he's like, all right, well, you know what I mean, call me when you're done.
Right, just unlocks the metal gate to let us in. And I was like, I mean, it's not like taped off. We can just go in. And he's like, yep. And he didn't come with us. So we didn't have much information on it. So we're walking around. I mean, you could touch the stone walls. You could see the writing. So I found out this writing was actually old Greek writing. And it was like almost a code writing. And they said that they did this code so that only like certain elite back then could read it. So then in like 1870, there was an earthquake and some of the church crumbled. Now, here's the odd part. In Mexico, these churches are very well preserved and taken care of. And the priest of that time ordered this church to be demolished.
Yeah,
So,
like blown up.
blown up. So all these old, ancient, secret code writings, most of them were like destroyed, okay? And I was like, that is so, I'm not on, what's that called? When people are into like
historian.
no, conspiracy theories.
Oh.
I'm not into conspiracy theories. I love history though, and I was like, this is too odd to be true. So I wonder if there was another reason. I wonder if, but anyways, it was so cool going to see. There's ancient writing. There really is ruins. There's like tunnels you can go through in this church. And it used to be an old Pueblo church back almost 400 years ago, but when certain people came in, they redid this church and they built it up, and it was amazing. I can't believe we were allowed to go in there and explore. I could have taken things with me if I wanted. They wouldn't have known. I didn't do that, but it was absolutely amazing, and I hope I get to go back and do Abby's quince photos there.
Well, what's weird about that whole situation is they still don't know what these things say. They
Right.
have absolutely no idea. Nobody can translate it, nothing, because it's just not around.
They say it was almost like cryptic Greek code, only for the elite who came into this town would be able to read. It was just absolutely amazing. I can't wait for you guys to see that vlog.
Well, I gotta answer this. No, my son isn't named after Cristiano Ronaldo.
I wanted to name him Christian, and then we wanted to have it a little bit more Hispanic, so we named him Cristiano. I wanted to name him Josh, originally, Joshua. And my husband didn't want to name him Joshua, so I was like, all right, well, let's compromise. Because we made an agreement that I got to name the girls and he got to name the boys, and then I didn't want him to name the boy, so we came in agreement with that.
Well, no, I think we came to the agreement because we're Christian, and I told her, I was like, in Spanish it's Cristiano, and that's what we decided on.
But it's funny because a lot of the younger boys around Penelope's age are named Christian.
Mm-hmm.
So Cristiano really has any Native Americans, and when I see your vlogs of living off the land, I love it so much. Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, that's another thing I want to tell you guys. There's a clock tower in Hamai that was made with this ancient church, and I didn't show it to you. And it's made out of stone. They carved it. The clock on it still works.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that insane?
That's just so wild. I just sent a box to your P.O. box today. Oh, thank you so much. I want to let you guys know, so our P.O. box is in Michigan, and my family is all coming at the end of this month from Michigan. So my sister, she has a little girl, her name is Lily. She's like one of our biggest fans. They're going to go to Michigan, and they're going to vlog getting the stuff in the P.O. box and packing it up and bringing it here, you guys.
Martha, hi. Fremont's like really close to our house.
Fremont's beautiful.
I've been wanting to answer that question or that comment for a while now.
Love the name Cristiano. There's no country like Mexico in this planet. You guys are so fortunate. Thank you so much. Melissa from Los Angeles, you guys are the start of the day. When you get up, I love to go work and talk about the whole family. Oh, thank you. San Juan de Los Lagos, Jalisco. Oh, didn't the horse thing just come from there?
No, that was in Aguascalientes.
To keep up with your Christian, okay. How are you able to keep up with your Christian life living in such a Catholic-based country, coming from a Christian living in Michoacan? So I want to tell you guys something. My view on Christianity in Mexico is mostly Catholic, especially in the Rancho. And my husband grew up Catholic, but I don't just say like, oh, I'm a Christian. I study the Bible, I love the Lord, but I also like to study other religions, like the Catholic Church, because it was so curious to me, the differences. Now, in Mexico, especially in our rancho, it's even more like tradition-based.
Yes, it's extremely.
It's to the extreme.
Yeah.
Like, and every single person, every single kid.
Well, not only that, I have a cousin that was a nun for a while, so
right.
it's like.
She lives right next door.
Yeah, right next. And a lot of you asked about the houses around our house. So the house in the middle, that was the original house that was here. That was my grandparents, and then both houses to the sides were my dad's brothers. So that property was given to them by my grandparents. The one behind us, my dad ended up giving to his brother because he had a son that was really sick at one point, and he ended up selling everything. He ended up selling his house, property, and everything else, and they needed somewhere to stay. They stayed in my parents' house for a while, and then when my dad was able to come to Mexico, he ended up giving my uncle that property to build a house on.
Right. Okay, let me see something really quick. Hold on. The difference between Christianity and what Jesus said and believed in and taught. Right, and so like here in Mexico, when I first moved here, and I respect the Catholic Church and I respect everybody here, and some of their traditions are actually very, very beautiful. But people were more concerned with me not going to church. So it was hard for me at first trying to explain in Spanish. I still love the Lord. I've been baptized. I believe in the Bible. I'm just not Catholic. And that's really, really hard for them to understand. For example, my daughter is not having a mass for her quinceañera, and a lot of people were like,
Just baffled. I mean, they just can't understand it.
right, and but then I still have to explain to them, she is still blessed, she's still loved. I'm still going to say a prayer at her quince. I want to do it in Spanish so I can practice for it. But also, quinceañeras came from the Aztecs, and so it wasn't a Catholic tradition, and some people think it came from that. It came from deep-rooted history in Mexico, but it didn't come from the Catholics. So I think when we go forward with her quinceañera, it's going to be good when I do my speech, because it's going to give me a chance to say a prayer, and for people to know she's still very blessed, she's still very loved by the Lord, and that this is like a big celebration. But yeah, it is a little bit different here in the ranch because we're not Catholic. So I watch a lot of my sermons online on Sundays, and I read the Bible every single night, not because I have to, but I love learning about it. Okay, and this brings up something. So for me, when you read the Bible, some things in it can be kind of scary. Somebody brought up a question: do scary things ever happen in your ranch? The Hispanic people in our rancho love to tell scary stories. And I had heard some of them, things about witchcraft and different things. But then when I started reading the Bible, I started to hear these same weird stories. And I don't feel afraid because I feel like I am protected. But weird things do happen in places. And my husband knows a lot of the scary stories here.
I mean, a lot of them are like, just tales, but like, it's weird to me growing up in the States that I didn't hear a whole lot of that growing up. I didn't hear a lot about, black magic or witchcraft or exorcisms or any of that stuff. In Mexico, you hear about that stuff all the time. I mean, all the time, and it's all over.
And people, even though they're Catholic, go to the extremes to protecting themselves against it. Even, I'll see my suegra do like an egg thing. She rubs it, and then she cracks it. She does it once a month, and she examines the egg, and she leaves it out. And I just sit there watching her, and I'm like, I'm just gonna.
But I mean, there might be something to that, because like my wife said, that they've experienced this stuff all the way back to the Bible.
Right, they did experience back to the Bible, but they do explain to you, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. You are protected, but also scary things have happened, and they tell scary stories, and I don't listen to them because I won't be able to sleep at night, you guys. But yes, people have told us the scary stories here in the ranch.
And there's a lot. Does anybody know why?
I don't listen to them.
Does anybody know why that is? Why we don't hear about it so much in the States, but in Mexico it's more common?
Let's see. hold on. Oh my goodness, look at all the comments we missed. Sorry, I paused it on us, you guys. Bendito de Dios, que no sé. Cristina también, Dios. Somebody said, can you tell us a spooky story? Okay, my aunt does the egg thing too, so it's not uncommon. Here on the rancho, any issues with accessing
Jake.
medicine? Is Jake on here? Oh, Jake. Hi, Jake. My cousin Jake is on here, and I haven't heard from him in a long time. I'm so happy you're on here. So maybe one day my husband can do a live and talk about some of the scary stories, but I don't want him to do it right now because I don't want to hear them. I don't like that stuff.
Well,
It scares me too much.
The thing is, you won't sleep, and then the kids won't sleep either.
Right. Ton of stories in most southern states, such as Arizona and Texas. Yes. Don't talk about
But I feel like that's mainly Hispanic community as well, Arizona and Texas.
So my mom told us so many scary stories.
I know. I remember when I was a kid, I was allowed to watch like horror films and stuff. I remember watching Chucky, and I couldn't sleep for like 2 days.
Bad vibes, and to see who is doing the bad. I will say, I think because my husband's parents did not speak English, I think when my husband watched scary things in English, like movies and stuff, I don't know if they fully understood like what he was watching, because sometimes kids here in Mexico are saying like really bad things in English, and I'm like, I know there's no way your parents understand what you're saying right now.
Somebody says the devil exists, be careful. Well, if we believe in Jesus, we've got to believe in the devil too.
Hi from Phoenix, Arizona. Families believe in evil eye. Okay, so the evil eye thing is everywhere here in Mexico, and especially on a rancho. They will wear these red bracelets all the way down their arms.
Mm-hmm. Or their ankles.
Yes, people are very, very superstitious and nervous here.
You don't know what that is behind.
Oh yeah, they put these little. People here put these wax. It almost looks like wax drops all over their ears. And I've never asked anybody what that's for.
Yeah, I don't know what that's for.
And I don't know where they get them from, and they'll leave them on for like months. So I'm not sure, but yes, in our rancho, there's still a lot of traditional things and very superstitious things that go on. But again, I am living in a different culture, and I don't teach my kids those things, but also, I respect and love people. Like, that's what I'm called to do. So unless they ask me, like, I'll tell them how I feel. But otherwise, it's not even talked about. People just do it, I guess.
Yeah. Hold on, I wanted to answer something. Somebody asked if we were going to be putting subtitles on our videos. And I think the reason we stopped was because it would take like 10 hours to upload a video.
Well, me and my husband did a little more research on this. So some people who do have subtitles, they hire somebody who speaks Spanish and English, and they send the vlog to them, and then they translate it. So we're kind of trying to find someone in our ranch who could do that, because it would benefit them too. It would give them an income. We just haven't been able to find someone yet who is fluent enough in English, because you guys, our rancho is not just a rancho, it's still considered indigenous because of all the, homes and stuff here. So I don't know anybody who's perfectly fluent in English here.
No, and I mean, it doesn't have to be from here. Honestly, we don't have the time, and we don't have the resources to like pay a company to do it. You know what I mean? I wish we could. I wish we could put subtitles on it, and just, my wife wanting to upload a video in time. There was times where it would take like 16 hours to upload a video.
Right, because you guys, like, the translate, when it hears me speaking English and it translates it to Spanish, it, like, does not do it properly. It's the weirdest thing. So I have to go through one word at a time to make sure. So it's just been a lot. So just pray for us that we find the right person who can do that for us, and it will help their family, and it will also help our family. How's your internet speed? The internet speed is a lot better. Are there any, okay, so somebody said, are there any clinics on the rancho? Yes, we do have one clinic, and it's a free clinic, and it's just basic things. If you went to see like your daughter's pediatrician or something, it's not specialist, but it is a general doctor.
It's just for small things, colds and flus and things like
Ear
that.
infections.
Ear infections.
And then there is a government hospital in Ocotlan, about 35 minutes away, and then there's a private hospital. We had to use the private hospital one time, and it was when my youngest daughter Penelope got a parasitic infection. It was really, really bad. We've never had to go there besides that. And she was there almost the whole day. And then, do you remember how much that bill was? I thought it was
No,
like,
so at the time, the municipality president had kind of a deal with them, and so if we were there for a certain amount of time, or we're gonna spend a certain amount of time, I think they would cover half. So I'm not really sure what
I thought it was 150 USD. And
Yeah.
if that would have been doubled, it would have been 300 American dollars. That included blood work, urinalysis, x-rays, and then, staying in the room. That was for the private hospital. So we do have healthcare options, and that was something that scared me moving to Mexico, because you either go to the government hospital or you go to a private hospital. We've had to learn a lot along the way how all these things work. Our children have dual citizenship, though. They're United States citizen.
I have dual citizenship as well.
Yep, so is my husband, and it was easy for my kids because of my husband. Okay, so that was the clinic questions. Greeting, Arizona. Mi tia also did the egg cleanse. Had to be fresh. Lalo needs to tell us some scary stories. I won't let him do it in front of me, you guys. I was born in Catholic in Baja, moved to California at age 7, was born again Christian. Oh, wow. At age 25, but my family is very not liking it. Christianity, get on their ways, feels lonely. And I will answer to that. It does feel lonely because I feel like in the ranch, people are so kind and loving to me, but that is the one thing. They don't understand me being Christian, no matter how well I explain it to them. So, for example, they have a father of the church. What would that be called in English? They call it the father here. They call it padre. But it'd be like a priest, I guess.
A sacerdote.
And the priest at a time was not the nicest person. And I asked someone close to me here in the ranch, I said, if the priest told you something about someone in the ranch, would you have to follow that? Or is it kind of like your own? And she goes, you have to do like what he says. What he says is kind of law. And I said, I don't think even in the Catholic Church it's supposed to be like that. I think he's supposed to represent the Lord, the Father. I said, but he's not supposed to be the boss of you. You're supposed to have, the Holy Spirit in you to guide you. And he is still a person with sin and with fault. But when I talk to them that way, they're kind of like, don't be saying that. So we don't talk about it much because I don't want them to feel like threatened or judged by me. I want them to know I love them no matter what. But that was the only thing that was a little concerning to me. I don't think in the United States like that, but I do feel like in Mexico and in these small ranchos, you need to make sure they have a good father in the church who is leading them to God and not like prideful, I guess.
And I mean, honestly, I wish I can explain things better. I can't. I don't know how. I don't know how to get past their thoughts or anything like that. And I just choose to not either judge them or sit there and argue with somebody.
All right, and so then, but that's just a very small, my Christianity is a huge part of my life, but the Catholic stuff here is just like a very small, part. It's the only thing that is like different to me that I don't do in Mexico. Oh, the wax on the ear is acupuncture. Oh, wow. That's interesting because a lot of people do that, and I don't know who does it for them.
I don't know, but I have seen a lot of acupuncture places in Opotlan.
Leading by example. Okay, and somebody said secure your green card, and so I just, for some people who are new here, I did want to let you know, my husband has his,
I'm a citizen.
yeah, he's a citizen in the United States. He just got his citizenship 4 years ago, right?
No.
4?
No.
3?
No, way longer than that.
Really? How long ago? 5 years ago? No.
No, Abigail was born.
No, not your residency, your
I know.
citizenship.
So I was a resident for 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got my citizenship. So Abigail was like 6. So how long ago was that?
No, it wasn't. I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago he got his citizenship. But we choose to be here. We're citizens of the United States. And then also my kids and my husband have dual citizenship in Mexico, but we choose to live in Mexico in an indigenous rancho because
believe in God? Yes.
we love it.
And the reason we're calling it indigenous is because of you guys out there that know this, it's an ejido. So it's literally a land owned by a group of people.
It would almost be how it is in the United States for native tribes, how it's almost separate from the United States government. So the ejidos here in the rancho are separate, they're indigenous, and it's so beautiful. If this was not inherited through my husband, I could not just like be an American and just come down here and buy property and buy land. The people of the ejidos have to say, yeah, you can live here with our families. You can have $1 billion and you can't just come buy a home here. So it's something that's just really beautiful and special and something we were blessed with. So what software do you use to edit your photos? I use Creative Cloud, Lightroom, and Photoshop. Let me see. Hey guys, turn. Acupuncture treatment, the waxy thing. How many states are there? Do you guys celebrate Halloween? Oh my gosh, that's such a good. I'm not telling them that story. I have a really embarrassing story about Halloween here, and maybe one day I'll tell you guys. They do something on Halloween, but it is not the United States. Maybe in the bigger cities. Here in our rancho, on Halloween.
I think you should tell us.
Let me tell them first what happens. Here in the rancho on Halloween, the little kids dress up as angels. They were all white, and then the boys stand on one side and the girls stand on one side. And then they walk around the ranch, how you see me walk around the ranch in the vlogs, with their bag to get candy. And what they do is they stop at each little tienda, and they sing a song, and then they give them candy, and then they keep going until it's finished. But that's what they do here.
They are not allowed to wear any kind of
Halloween costume besides
Halloween
an angel.
costume, yeah, except for like or characters in the Bible.
Yes, characters in the Bible, and everybody enjoys and loves it. Like
Yeah.
everybody participates, everybody loves it. At the end of them going to each tienda and singing, everybody meets up at the plaza, and they tell stories and they sing and they throw out candy. So to me, it's really beautiful, and all my kids are part of it, so we really love it. But when I first moved to Mexico, I didn't know what that was all about, and I really embarrassed myself. And one day I will tell you guys a story about that. But I had to call my husband, and I was like, I think I just made a big mistake. I've done so many embarrassing things the first couple years here. It is just unreal. I'll give you guys an example. On Day of the Dead, they asked me to be they asked me to like represent the class in the elementary, and there's 6 grades in the elementary. So they picked one mom for each class, and I did not want to do it. I just wanted to go take photos of the kids, and they're like, no, please do it. And they said, you have to dress like
A Catrina.
a Catrina. And I said, okay. So I decided not to go dark. I wore a really light, pretty outfit, and I did my makeup white, and then I just let my hair down.
Maybe you should post that on the community.
I'll do a photo for you guys so you can see. And they did a big parade through the ranch, and I took photos. And then we got to the school. The whole ranch is there, okay? Hundreds of people are there watching. And they go, they're doing the reinas for Catrina moms. And I was like, the reinas? I didn't know what the reinas was at the time because I was new to being here. And they're like, you have to go out there with the other moms and everybody and model walk and then
Yeah.
come back and then like do spin. And I said, oh, no, I don't want to do it. I thought it was voluntary. They said, no, you have to. You're representing I think it was the third grade class at the time. I was mortified. So I went out there and I gave it my best. And I ended up winning the Reina of the Catrina Moms, you guys. And I got like a gift and flowers and everything. So it was embarrassing. I thought I was just there to like dress up with the kids. But that's more of Mexico's Halloween in a way. But it's one of my favorite times of year, you guys. It is so beautiful. Or last long, just keep following Jesus. Thank you so much. I was laughing so hard because he knows I'm embarrassing.
It's not that you're embarrassing. I feel like Erin's looking at me for guidance and things that she should do when I really don't know any of these things either. I didn't grow up here. So like all these things that we're kind of experiencing, we're experiencing together. But the only difference is like I could ask people, hey, what's expected of me here or what's expected of us here, and my wife can't do that.
No, and then, Hispanic people in my rancho do not take no for an answer. So when I was like, no, I'm not going out there and walking, and they're like, yeah, you have to. There's no other choice. So it ended up being really fun, but I was very pushed into it. I'm happy to see Lalo there with you guys. Thank you so much. That's okay. I am learning. I can't imagine how much people have laughed at me here, but everybody's very supportive and loving. Hola, hola. Me too, somebody said.
It says, are you Mexican?
I'm not Mexican. My husband is Hispanic. My grandpa's parents were Czechoslovakian, but I am not Hispanic at all. In my heart, I am, you guys, but he's squinting to read. I need to get him glasses when we do the live.
Dude, these letters are like extremely small. I don't even know. Like my wife has to get like super close to the phone to read them. How old are? Do you want to say that?
Okay, and then somebody said, how do you contribute financially on the rancho? Is it like paying rent each week? Okay, so when my suegra and suegro built this house, they built it in mind for family to live here. But my suegra also has a home in Michigan. So she does not live here full time at all. But we pay all the bills, any bills that come up. We also take care of everything in the yard. So when my suegra comes here, it's like her normal life, except with the grandkids in here. We hope to one day, because my suegra's house is so big, I would love to build a smaller home here. That would be like my future goal.
Hold on, sorry. Somebody said I squint when he squints.
Wait, somebody said on another comment, I was like, Lalo, you need to pay them or something. He was right away, I took out my wallet. And then let me see.
Hold on, but I want to add to what my wife was saying. My mom doesn't live here full time. I've said this before. We came here to help my mom. I literally pay for everything here. I pay the bills. I buy all the food. I pay for my mom's cars to get fixed because we also use them. I pay for just different things, and I help out my mom with different properties, including the property the house sits on.
Right, but it's not our family goal to live in this home. Our family goal is to build a home here in Mexico. When we first moved here, I wanted my kids to learn Spanish. I wanted them to be a part of the community and culture here. We did not know if it was going to be possible to stay here. We were going to take it 1 year at a time. And if it didn't work out, we're like, okay, we can always go back to the States if it doesn't work out. So we didn't come here planning, let's build a home, but now we ended up loving it and our family is thriving here. So now our goal is to build a small home here. I would love to build a tiny home here, and have our own space as well. Do you have to pay do you pay taxes here? I'm not even sure about.
Yeah, so we have to pay for Hacienda. But because my mom has properties that we farm, we have to pay Hacienda no matter what, and that's we have an accountant for that, and we have to pay every 3 months.
Someone said, okay, can we build an extra room for me? Jake, please come. I would build an extra room for you, and I'm sure you and Lalo would be outside all day long just doing. Christiana would love it too. Someone said I'm gonna make pickled onions. I'm gonna tell you something. I made extra pickled onions the other day, and I put two things of garlic, and I put some salt, and I put a little bit of water with like 6 lemons. It was gone within an hour. It was gone so fast.
I'll answer this. Somebody asked where my mom was at. My mom right now is currently in Durango with her sisters.
And that is originally where she was born, and she came to the United States when she was 16.
Yeah.
It's curious, you guys, because if you grew up in the United States, not everybody is going to understand this, but a lot of people that are around my husband's age and my suegra's age, they left Mexico when they were around 13, 14, 15, 16 by themselves, like just with cousins, you know what I mean? And they took this long trek to get there. And so it's not as common anymore. A lot of people are staying in Mexico now because it is thriving. But I can't imagine at 13, I was worried about what boy I was going to date. I can't imagine thinking of hiking through the desert because we're pretty south. So it's 17 hours in a car. I can't imagine like going from car to car and then walking. It's really
a shame, to be honest. It makes me sad to think that
gotta go through that.
yeah, people have to leave, their family behind.
I'll give you guys an example. Now, I don't think this is a shame. I think these boys are learning great skills, but the boys who come to dance for the quinceañera, they're 14. They just turned 14 this year because Abby's almost a year ahead of them. And we went and got them boots, but we have to go bring them to get their belts and a hat. And we asked them, I said, you guys want to go on lunes on Monday? And they said, we can't, it's our first day of work. And I was like, you guys are starting, because it's summer break, so they have to start work throughout summer break. And I said, okay, where are you guys working? And they go, we have to go work out in the field with our dads or whoever. And one of Cristiano's friends, my son who's 11, his name is Chewy. He is the cutest little kid. And the other day I was in Ocotlan, and I seen him on the corner of the road with his dad. His dad was selling avocados. And he looked just kind of bored. Maybe he was a little bit sad sitting there. And then he seen me and Cristiano, and he just lit up. And he's like, hi, you guys. When we said hi to him. But kids here have it a little bit differently. So when they celebrate, when they have fiestas all the time, that's their way of enjoying life. So me and my husband feel blessed because so many of you gave towards these boys. They got to do something so special. Some of them had never been out to Ototanico. Like them walking around, they were just looking around amazed. They wanted to go into the church, but we couldn't because it was mass. But it was just so cool for them.
Somebody asked if they can pronounce your name here.
No. They are terrified. Some people say my name, but they say Wera.
Or they call her La Mama.
La Mama, they say Erin. And I'm saying it good. How do they say it?
Just like that. I mean, they just don't know how to pronounce it. You just haven't heard anything like it.
And I don't ever correct them because I am so proud of them for even trying to say it, because I know how scary it is to try to speak a different language. So for them to say Erin when they say Erin, I'm like, you did a wonderful job, because they get nervous. They're like, is that how you say it? And I said, perfect.
So I want to add another story to what my wife was talking about. So when I first came here, when I got my residency, again, I never been here as an adult. Okay, the first time I came back to Mexico, I was 25.
But he left when he was 4.
I left when I was 4, so I don't remember any of my childhood here. Well, I remember at the time we were kind of waiting on a status of my paperwork, and my parents were here with me at the time, and I would wake up at 4 a.m., 4:30, and try to do as many things as I could throughout the day just to make my day go faster. And I remember I'd go outside and I remember watching this kid. He was probably eight, 7 or 8 at the time. And 5 o'clock in the morning, this kid's walking down the road. And I watched him do that for 2 weeks. I didn't ask him anything. Finally, I was like, you know what? I have to ask this kid where he's going. I mean, it's like pitch black. Where is this kid going?
And he always had on a baseball jersey, didn't he? The same one.
Yeah, he always had on the same outfit. Well, I finally asked him. I was like, where are you going? Where are your parents? Like, my mentality is like what I lived in California.
Yeah, like the States.
And this kid goes, well, I gotta go milk some goats. And I was like, man, that is messed up. Why are they making you go milk goats? This is my thought process. And I didn't ask him anything. It kind of went on for a couple more days. Finally, I asked him, I was like, man, why do you have to go milk goats? And he goes, well, they're mine. I go, what?
Yeah. And then he had a whole garden out there, didn't he?
I was like, how do you have goats, or why do you have goats? He goes like, well, I gotta milk them right now at 5, so that I'll be done at 7. I'll go take a shower, and then I'm off to school. Mm-hmm. And I've always worked with my parents. Okay, like my dad didn't have to work for anybody. My dad always had like side hustles on the side. So I'm not a stranger to working, but this was like a whole another level for me. I go, how in the world does a 7 or 8 year old get up at 5 o'clock in the morning or 4:30 or whatever it is to go milk some goats that he's responsible for without any guidance?
And this kid is an adult now, and he is very smart. And because he milked the goats, he learned how to work hard. And he went on, he graduated school here in the Rancho, and he went on to a trade school, and he's like an electrician kind of. Mm-hmm. And he has a great career. And that didn't just come from an education. The education was a huge part of it, but also learning how to work was a huge part of it. So with our kids, that's a part of Mexico. It's such a blessing. They have to go to school, but also they know how to work in the yard. They know that some people have nothing. They've seen both sides of the world. They're learning how to give. They're learning how to celebrate and enjoy life. They're learning so many good things. The focus isn't just, you better go to college and get the best degree you can ever get. The goal is learn how to work hard, get an education, figure out what are your gifts, what are you good at, and then work hard towards that. And like God's gonna open the door towards those things. I think sometimes in the States, at least where we were from, a lot of it's like education, but then a lot of the learning how to work hard towards certain things was taken away. Like I said, here in the ranch, kids, when they see my laptop in the house, they would not even know how to use a keyboard.
No.
But
even a tablet.
They know how to work hard. They know how to use skills. They know how to play with each other. They know how to communicate with people. So we have had kids come from the States during the fiestas that are around Cristiano's age, about 11 and 10. And it was so curious to me that these kids, I could tell this was their first time in the ranch. They didn't know how to play with the Hispanic kids in the ranch. So for example, when you guys see my vlogs, when we go to the plaza at night, it's all the kids gather up. If my kids go and get a bag of chips, they offer a chip to every single kid. They didn't grow up knowing that. That was something they learned in Mexico because every Mexican kid here does that. They're like, oh, they even offer me one. They're like, oh, you want a little piece of candy? I'm like, no, that's okay. But it was funny when these kids came from the States, they didn't know how to play with them. Also, in the ranch, they play rough. Okay,
well,
like they'll.
Not only that, I mean, these kids have to be more creative. Like I watch,
right, yes.
I watch my kids have to use their imagination. Yeah. Literally. I mean, I didn't see them do this in the States at all. Like, if anything, my kids were, just stuck on tablets. Here, if I want my kids to go play outside, I mean, they made up a whole game at the plaza. Something that never existed before, these kids made up.
And you guys, we're going to go to the plaza tonight, and if they're playing it, I'm going to try to put it on my short for you. They will play in the plaza for hours. Even my oldest daughter goes to the plaza with her friends, and it's just community based. They know how to communicate with other people. They know how to share. They know how to be giving, but they're also very rough. And
Somebody
they,
said, sorry, go ahead.
no, it's okay. What did they say?
Somebody said, these are my chips.
No, that's what these kids that came from the States, they had these chips, and the other kids from our rancho went up to them, because I'm watching, okay? And they're waiting, like, are you going to give us a chip? And that little girl's like, no, like, you can't stick your hands in my chip bag. And the little girl spoke English, and I explained to her, I was like, listen, here in the plaza, they're just used to giving to each other. If you guys know Annabelle, if you watch Annabelle in the vlogs, she is very spicy, and she does not put up with that, okay? And she was like, oh no, we're not going by them. And I was like, no, Annabelle, you didn't know when you first came here, so you have to explain to them. But then they started playing tag, and they call it thrice here. Tag is hardcore in Mexico, okay?
Yeah.
These
it's like
kids,
a hardcore session.
Right, and nobody cries. Like, Annabelle runs up to people and just smacks, or they smack Annabelle, and then you have to sit in the timeout zone and wait for your next turn to be in thrice. And these kids from the States were playing tag, and that only lasted about 5 minutes. And they were like, we are not playing this anymore. And I was like, oh my gosh.
When am I going to make a vlog about the upgrades?
We can do that in our next vlog.
Yeah, I mean,
we really need to.
Like I said, I've just been doing maintenance, pretty much. It's just things that got put aside, pretty much.
But I do need to show you guys, because my husband is so creative outside. Like I said, he made automatic waterers that take no electricity. I don't know how his brain can understand how it all works, but it's really amazing, and it looks really beautiful in the bag.
And you really have to be creative with that stuff, because you can't go to like a Home Depot here where you could just pick out any piece or pieces that you're missing, or you know what I mean, you're limited to whatever it is they sell at the ferreteria, which is the very basic things.
Yes. And someone said, do you guys like going to the fiestas? I like the fiestas, but I also like being home early to be in bed. But my kids love fiestas. Abby stays out with her suegra all night at the fiestas here.
How's electricity and water conditions in the ranch?
Chicharrones. Lalo, homemade chicharrones. Okay, homemade chicharrones are made right in the street. How do you say it? Carceneria? Carceneria, which is the local butcher's, is right up the road from us. They put wood out on the road. They have a huge metal pot. When you wake up in the morning, you can smell the chicharrones cooking, and everybody from the community just goes up our road and buys it for the day. I think they make it twice a week here.
I'll try. I usually get up at 4 o'clock. I'll try and go out there and film it for you guys.
There was another question on here, but how's the school system? Is it more advanced?
Hold on, they do have a Home Depot in Guadalajara.
They do. Guadalajara.
That'd be an hour and a half drive for me.
And it's not just like the long drive, it's the traffic. It's the Wild West in Mexico. Like, if you can imagine Chicago, except people not caring about like stop signs and lights.
No, there's
That's
scooters.
what it's like.
There's scooters all over the place that most of them don't have brake lights.
It's nerve-wracking for us when we go to Guadalajara. I would rather take a bus into there and then probably take a taxi to where we need to go. Hello from Scotland. Oh, wow. Hi. That is so cool.
Listen, you were saying something before I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't know. Ocotlan, I love it too. My husband is from Jalisco. It's been so long since we've been there. You guys need to come. Whatever ranch you're from in Jalisco, find out when their fiesta is, and that's the time to come. Oh, I wonder if my cousin Jake is still. Oh, Lalo, Chivas or my kids will say Chivas.
Chivas, I don't really follow any sports, to tell you the truth. I just don't have time for it. If anything, ask me about SpongeBob or some sort of cartoon, and I might know the answer to it.
I love your suegra as a party girl. She is a party girl with my daughter. Yes, the kids help so much, you guys. My husband, I hear the kids and my husband wake up because it's summer break. I hear them wake up before me. And he messes around with them, and he's like, all right, time to go get tortillas, let's go. And they're so excited to go with him. And if it was me, I'd be like, let's get up for tortillas. And they'd like put the covers over their head and be like, no, we're not going. So it's been a blessing and so much easier with him here. The traffic is terrible. I will never drive in Nogales. You'll need to go to El Sanador restaurant in Hamay. Ooh, I would love to do that. You look happy with your family. It's complete. It's been so nice to see all your family together. Thank you so much. I've been able to visit other places in Mexico. Guanajuato, it is so beautiful. How is the school system? Saludos de New Mexico, USA.
Saludos a todos de Nuevo Mexico.
Oh, what's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
What's my favorite Ninja Turtle? Probably not one of the turtles, but the sensei guy.
Hello from Kansas City. The school system. Okay, so people are very curious about the school system, and I will tell you guys real quick, but it is hard for me to explain, so the more questions you ask about it, the better I can answer. School is only 4.5 hours. They have an hour for lunch. All the moms in the ranch walk at the same time, bring homemade lunches. We sit there for a half hour while our kids eat. When they're done eating, they give us their lunch boxes, and then they have a half hour to play. All of us moms also walk back to the school to pick them up. In our rancho, there is no, okay, so we have a campo, it's called, and kids go there after school to play soccer or baseball. There is no school sports, though. There is gym class, but when the kids go to school, they are going to school to learn the basic educations like math, reading, writing, history, things like that. And there is no standardized testing pressure of any sort. There's probably 6 annual meetings where the parents go in and they discuss with you in detail how your kids are doing and where they need help. The difference is, though, there is a lot of responsibility on parents here in our ranch to be working with their kids every single day on whatever they learned in school for the day.
There's a lot of hands-on things. There's a lot of creative things. There's a lot of crafty things.
Right.
They have a whole group chat on WhatsApp for it.
Right. And so the moms are extremely involved, but the reason we can be involved is because here in our rancho, most of the moms are stay-at-home moms, which we don't just sit at home. I mean, we are mopping, cleaning, making homemade food all day long, running back and forth to schools. So it is a blessing that all of us moms get to go to school and do this. My son, who struggled in school in the United States, he's 11 now, is thriving in Mexico. And I was so worried about him because when we put them into school in Mexico, they did not speak any Spanish. And the school in Mexico does not have, they were the first kids to ever go to that school who did not speak Spanish, ever. So the teachers had no idea how to go about helping them.
Gosh, Antarctica.
And they did the best they can do, and it took our kids a while, but they're finally learning. But there was no extracurricular or special ed classes or anything like that.
There's no ESL program. There's none of that.
Nobody is separated. The other weird thing I'm going to tell you, nobody in Mexico has peanut allergies. So for example,
nobody has gluten allergies. Nobody has peanut allergies.
So for example, if you want to bring in cupcakes for the class, you can bring in anything you want. I don't know why that is, you guys. I don't know. They don't ask you about it.
Man, we were just talking about this the other day.
Maybe if there is a kid who has a peanut allergy, his mom already told him, you don't eat that, and they don't need it. Kids have a different level of respect for their parents here. There is no disrespect. There is a high level of respect for teachers. To get a teacher job in Mexico is one of the best jobs you can get. You are very respected. You are very cared for. And your job is not all day long, and they take it very professionally. So if you have any more questions about the school here on the rancho, but from my perspective, the kids love it, and they're doing really, really well.
I mean, just the fact that my kids can learn a whole nother language Okay, because most of my kids learn how to write and read and spell and math and do all this stuff on top of learning another language. I mean, that's got to say something. And if we look back, like my wife said, my son was really, really struggling in school. And that's just not the case now.
No, and he still has things he needs to work on, and the teacher tells us, but the teacher also has him work on those things in school. And like I said, because there's no standardized testing that each kid has to meet, it's just they need to learn the basics. In whatever grade they're in, they're going to learn the basics that year, all of them together. It is funny though, because some of the teachers, when you go to the parent-teacher meeting, they'll put the grades in the name of each kid on this huge screen, and all the parents can see. If your kid's in the red and they're not doing well, all the parents can see that. And me and my husband are always laughing, and I'm like, that's like, we're gonna be the chief man of the ranch right now.
Well, no, not only that, I mean, in the States, I think everybody would complain about that. It would be like almost shameful to that person.
Right.
Here, they don't look at it that way.
No, if that's the way the teacher did it, that's gonna be respected.
Yeah.
So I don't really say anything about it either, because our kids are doing fine and they love it. So, and each teacher is different, and each teacher, that's another blessing. I don't know how it is in the state. That teacher does not stay in just the 4th grade. Every year that teacher goes to a different grade in the school, so they get to teach how they want to teach. There is no, the government says you better teach it this way. They're going to teach creatively. A lot of these teachers, that's the other thing in Mexico, they don't have art class, but they are very creative. There's always projects that involve art, and the way they teach is very creative as well.
It's very hands-on. I don't remember ever doing that in school.
No. And like I said, my kids, if they went back to the United States right now, they would have no idea about the lockdowns in school and the things that have happened in the schools. They wouldn't know any of that. There is no lockdown protocols. There is no worry of things like that. If I need to go to the school and pick up my kid, I walk up there and I go into the principal's office and I'm like, okay, go get him. It's just completely different.
I want to add something. If you guys want to see anything in particular from us, please let us know. Because I don't feel like me filming, like automatic water is entertaining to me. But it might be entertaining to you guys, so just let us know that.
Right. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we're gonna get going in about 5 minutes, you guys. But I want to answer just a couple more questions. A lot of my students are from Jamaica. I'm from San Jose de Gracia by
Mazamitla.
Oh, okay. The vlog I'm posting tonight shows the school in Jamaica. It was so big, it looked like it was from a telenovela. We thought it was apartment buildings. What is your favorite Mexican dish?
Mine is... Oh man, that's long.
I know, I love all of it.
Oh man, I love all of it.
If I could mix it together, it'd be enchiladas de queso, tacos de bistec. I love all of it, you guys.
I love huevo enchilito.
Oh, really? That's your favorite?
Yeah.
All right.
And beans.
I think this thing might have...
Do you guys have any more questions before we go?
Hold on.
Or comments?
Hit your channel because I was told Mexico is too dangerous for us to visit. You have proved that wrong. Every place has good and bad parts. Yes, every place has good and bad parts. And you just have to remember that you are coming into a different culture, and as long as you are being respectful, you do not want to come here having the attitude of, I'm American and I'm going to do it the way I was raised. I came into Mexico as, I'm in Mexico now and I'm going to embrace the culture and I'm going to live here the way other people live here. So that's a big part of coming here to visit. And I had to actually explain that to my family when they came here. I had to explain to them that there's some things you do, there's some things you do not do. And they just had to be aware of those things, and I had to tell them, you're coming into a different culture, and whether you not like it or not, this is the way we do things here, and to enjoy it, you just have to be a part of it without getting into things that we don't want to.
Why don't you go on?
And then, see. Did welding damage your eyes?
No, I think I'm just going blind.
Saludos de San Diego, California. Question. My dad is from
Saludos a todos de San Diego.
Michoacan. We want to go visit my dad, but we don't know if it's safe or not. What do you guys think? Okay, so I'm going to tell you, a friend of ours who lives in Chicago, she came here with her boyfriend, and her grandma lives next door to us, so she's been coming here since she was little. But her boyfriend is from Michoacan, and she said it was her first time visiting there, and she was a little bit nervous, and she loved it. And I think they went to more of a city part of it, and she liked seeing the difference between a big city and the rancho. So I feel like if the family is from there, they're gonna be so excited to see you, and they're gonna tell you like, yes, come. And if they tell you like, yes, come, we can't wait to see you, it's worth it. It's worth it to go and see. We went to Michoacan before, actually. Not too far from us. I don't think this thing right here is working.
I don't think there's any more comments.
Okay, let me see. All right, so this is going to give us a chance to go back on a couple really quick. Lovely family, thank you so much. We'll go to El Corral Grande swimming place. I have a whole vlog on El Corral Grande. It is one of our favorite places.
Hold on.
Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z?
No, right here.
Oh. Lalo, do you have lots of family in your rancho? Half of my rancho are all cousins.
Yeah, 3/4 of this town is related to me somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad was one of 11. So I mean, it goes back to my great grandparents.
Okay, there it goes. We had this thing wrong. Sorry, you guys, it was blocking all the messages from us. Oh, IL, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
We're bringing the chambelan, which is my daughter's quince group. I think we're planning on Tuesday because, like I told you, the boys start their first day of work through summer vacation. But we are bringing them back for belts and hats. They are so excited. They came all the way back to our house after dance class just to ask when they were going back. And we're getting one of our cars fixed right now, and we're like, we have to wait for the bigger car so we can fit all of you. And they're like, we'll just pack in. And I was laughing. They were so excited to go. So I just want to tell you thank you, because I can't wait to vlog it, because I hope you guys can see like the joy coming from them, because that's something like they've never got to do.
And that's something that you guys are creating. We're kind of part of it, but it's thanks to you guys.
Mm-hmm. We told them in the car on the way to Ocotlan, we were like, you guys, you get to go pick. It was funny because no matter how many times we told them, they didn't believe us that they got to pick any boots they wanted. And I told them, I said, you guys, the people from my YouTube donated so you could do this. And they couldn't believe it. They can't believe that people can care about them so much to do something like that. So it's funny, every time they come for dance class, they ask to see my YouTube. And they look through the comments and stuff. They can only read the ones in Spanish, but they think my YouTube is so cool. And they wanted to go live with me today, but I had to prep them that they weren't allowed to say any bad words in Spanish. So maybe next time we go live, I can have them go live with us. Never move or tequila. And someone said, do you think you'll ever move on? Oh, wait, hold on.
Mezcal or tequila, I don't drink, so I don't know.
to Cancun to help us weld fences and window bars on our houses we're building. Oh, that would be so cool if you could do that. Also, it'd be cool to visit Cancun. We have never been on vacation in Mexico. We've never left our rancho, besides like going to Jamai for the day. But me and my husband were just talking about how we want to try to do a couple other different things.
A lot of people keep asking how we met.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to tell you guys something. I don't think my husband's going to have the same answer to that.
What do you mean?
Like how we met. Because we had known each other for years and years before we started dating. But I think that's something we should save for a vlog. Because it's kind of a long story.
Yeah, we can.
I think we should save that for a vlog. Because
Just know that we knew each other before we actually started dating.
Uh-huh. My husband was actually dating someone else when me and him knew each other. So it was just really different. It's funny how things work out.
What does it say? Well, will you be able to use your welding experience? Yeah, I do plan on using my welding for anything. I mean, I really want to focus on just repairs for right now because that's something that's quick and easy for me to do, and it still gives me time to spend time with my family, take care of the property here and all the other stuff I have to do. But right now, I've only been in Mexico for 11 days. So I kind of just want to spend time with my family for a little bit, kind of catch up on things that I have to do, and just really enjoy being here. I don't want to go right back into, working all day.
That's one thing for my husband, and that's just from when he lived in California. He had to work a lot with his dad, and my husband can get into the mindset where he will work himself like to death. And we've really had to work in our marriage of him finding that balance between like, you don't have to work yourself to death. Like being here in Mexico, we can do things together, and families rest here from 2 to 4. Nobody goes anywhere, and all the stores close, everything, even the doctor's office closes from 2 to 4, and you rest with your family. I can see the guys walking home from the maguey in the fields.
I mean, Sundays are, nobody works.
You guys, in Ototanico, which is a huge city, on Saturdays after 4, nothing is open. And we went there and we're like, nothing is open, it's a Saturday. And they're like, no, there was mass for church, and people were just outside relaxing. There was a couple ice cream things.
Yeah, people were out in the plaza, just enjoying family time.
And nobody was like irate. Like, how could you not be open on a Saturday? Everybody was like, okay, let's just go walk around this and relax.
And that is strange to me because I grew up in the States, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, or maybe it's just the way I grew up, but I feel like the States is so fast-paced, and, you're only focused on making money, clocking in to make that money. That's what I was focused on. And you can ask my wife, I used to work 16-hour days Monday through Monday. I didn't even get a day off. And that's been my entire life. Not just, a couple of years back. I remember being 8 years old, and I told you guys that my dad did a bunch of like side hustles, okay? He never actually worked for anybody, but I remember all summer, and I hated this. I still despise it to this day. All summer, my dad would go paint some apartment buildings that our landlord had, and then he'd knock off some of our rent or whatever it was. Well, I had to go do that, and then my dad would make me do, I don't know if you guys know what cutting is, like when you cut out all the edges, and I am not a patient person whatsoever. And I remember hating it. Every stinking summer I'd have to do that. But now I'm really good at it, and I still hate it.
Right. No, there's so many things my husband's good at, and I'm like, where could you possibly learn that? And he's like, when I lived in California, we had to go do these jobs with my dad. So we came from 2 very different upbringings and 2 very different cultures in different parts of the United States. And then we both end up loving and living in Mexico. And it was funny that when you guys talk about how we met, how me and my husband, when we even when we got married, we did not know this rancho existed. We knew his family was from Mexico. We knew it was a town, but we never knew it was like this.
My parents never talked about Mexico, neither Durango or here. Never. I never heard any like family stories about any of those places
No.
till I came here.
No, so when we went through our immigration process and my husband had to stay in Mexico, we thought it was such a crushing and the worst thing that could happen, and then to being one of the biggest blessings of our life. And it's just funny because getting married and even when we had Abby, we didn't know that this was like here waiting for us.
And not just, I don't know. Somebody said that they admire me for, putting my family first. And I gotta admit, it's still extremely hard for me to do this, to not want to go out and work and not want to go out. As I speak right now, I have a ton of things I have to do, but I have to keep it in my mind, and I kind of have to hold back and know that I'm gonna have enough time to do these things. I don't have to do it right now.
Right, and I will say, like, when we first moved to Mexico, I couldn't wait to have the rancho life, but then it was so hard for me not bringing my American culture into the rancho life, relaxing from 2 to 4, or when I'm feeling stressed, there's no local Target to go walk around and buy a bunch of things I don't need. We had a budget, I had to stick to that budget. And at first it felt like miserable. Oh, is this really what I want? Now the budget is just like second nature to me. And I have found other ways to relax that don't involve spending money.
And we still have a budget, in case you guys are wondering.
Yes. You guys are correct. Even here in Ohio, my folks work two and a half jobs just to get ahead. I love your different two you are, but you fit together. I love your family. Oh, thank you so much, Melissa. Abraham Gonzalez. Their stories of these testimonials arrest why I'm becoming a financial advisor. People think financial advisory or advice is for rich people. It's not. It's for everyone who is 18 years of age, and I agree with you on that so much.
Honestly, you should be taught that in school. All the way from middle school till you graduate high school, you should know how to manage money.
Yep. And we've had to teach our kids that. Our kids do not even know what the best of the best things are, especially here in the ranch, because everything.
Nobody even looks at it.
No.
I mean, my mother-in-law buys my kids certain things, but nobody.
Hi, Martha.
Nobody says, he's wearing this or he's got on that. I mean, they don't really pay attention to that.
I will tell you that was another thing in Mexico that was hard for me to grasp onto, is that kids have play clothes and then they have fiesta clothes. You do not send your kids in the rancho out in their nice dress clothes. They have set aside play clothes that they can get dirty and anything else. And then I have a separate closet actually for nice clothes. And in the States, I didn't have that. I just let them kind of wear whatever they wanted. It's not like that here. You don't dress up nice until it's fiesta time. And when you do dress up for fiestas, I had to explain this to my family for the quince. I said, you guys, it's not like a sundress type thing. It's like a prom for adults. You are looking for the most beautiful dress you can find.
What part of California did I grow up in? I grew up in Wilmington, California.
Saludos de Minnesota.
What's the age difference? 6 years. Saludos a todos de Minnesota.
And someone said you guys have a TV, and yes, we do have a TV. And Mexico actually has Netflix, but it's Mexico Netflix, so they don't have the same things as the States. Looks very retro. That's from a trip with my Carito San Luis. I kept remembering your videos, thinking this is what they were experiencing every day. So much beauty and history. Oh, Christina Hill, that is so, fills my heart. That is so wonderful. Here in Bakersfield, it's a requirement now to graduate from high school to take a finance class starting this year. That is absolutely
That's
wonderful.
awesome.
I'm so excited for the Quince. Me too, you guys. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. I'm excited, but I'm scared. I keep praying that it's a really beautiful night. I love the videos when you all took the boys shopping. And for the, okay, I have to tell you guys something about the pizza. So when we brought the boys who are in the quinceañera to Ototanico, we brought them because a bunch of you donated money for them to buy new boots. And we also have leftover money from that for them to get belts and hats, but we're bringing them a different day. But me and my husband, it had just rained out and we're like, let's go bring them for pizza. There's a pizza restaurant there. We brought the boys for pizza. We got them 2 big pizzas. We got ranch and buffalo sauce. And then we got them buffalo wings with the bones in them. And they were sitting at the table with Abby. They were scared to eat the buffalo wings. They didn't know like how to eat them properly. They didn't know what
They didn't know what ranch was. They didn't know what buffalo sauce was.
And Abby had to convince them to try the ranch because they do put ketchup on their pizza or they'll make some sort of sauce, but they didn't have ranch. And so she convinced them to try it. But they wouldn't try the buffalo sauce. They were nervous because it smells like vinegar and they were nervous to try it. One of the boys ate all the wings. He was so excited and we had some for him to bring back. And then we had pizza left and they ate it in the car ride home and they were so grateful. They weren't like on their phones like, oh no, we don't want any. They were so excited. They got home, they were like, thank you so much, thank you so much. It's hard to express to you guys how grateful they were, how much of a beautiful time you guys helped give them. It was amazing and I can't wait to bring them again.
We gotta go back. We missed a whole bunch.
Where do you guys get clothes? Are there stores there or does your family? Okay, so when I was in the United States, I would thrift shop like the Goodwill, hand-me-down clothes from my siblings, and I still have those clothes here with me. I haven't had to buy clothes in Mexico because
we've bought some clothes. It's not
I haven't bought any. Not me. The kids, we've bought a couple for the kids, but I feel like we keep our clothes a long time.
So do I. I mean, I think I've bought some in the States and you've bought some in the States,
Yeah.
but I don't think.
And we'll bring them back with us, like if we go on vacation, but we haven't had to buy clothes here, and also that's kind of outside of our budget. So if we go to the States and we buy some, we know what we need to buy now to last us here. I do need to buy a dress for the quinceañera and I'm a nervous wreck about it. Oh, they want to see the baby kitten. Abby, will you bring the baby kitten out? Oh, did Abby fall asleep? I think Abby fell asleep on the couch.
Abraham Gonzalez, thank you.
How long have you been married? 14 years. A long time since we got married when I was 19. We watched our beautiful, it's like a picture. Oh, thank you. It's Worthing Ford with the dog. Same, Aaron. I really take care of my clothes and have had it for years and years. Yes, me too. Years and years.
Me encanta la salsa.
I love the scenery in your evening walks. What's funny is some of the people in the ranch watch my vlog and they're like, we can't tell what part of the ranch you're in. And it's because I go all over the ranch walking.
So maybe later, we can't do it right now because there's like gorupos and stuff because it's the rainy season. But maybe later, I don't know, have you shown the mountain that's on the side of it? Where the mesa is?
Mm-mm.
So there's a pretty big mountain. We've done it before when Abby was little. It took us about 6 hours to get to the top of that. And
That was a rough trip.
I mean, I'd love to maybe vlog that for you guys because it's absolutely beautiful up there. There is trees. I bet it would probably take 4 of us to wrap our hands around each one of these trees. They are ginormous.
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful walk, but actually, you guys, I had to go like out in kind of like the desert area because I had to go pee really bad. And I went to sit down and something poked me. Do you remember that?
It was a wasp.
And we were in the middle of the trail and I had to throw my pants. I had no idea. It would hurt so bad to this day, I remember. And we couldn't find what it was. It was so embarrassing. Somebody said, does the horse come by? The horse has come by 2 other times, but it hasn't come by since my husband's been here, and I want it to so bad because I want him to see it. You should start another YouTube channel just cooking Mexican food.
Erica, hello.
I'm making chilaquiles next for you guys, and I'm so excited. My kids love them. God is good, yes. Saludos from Harbor area, aka Wilmington, California.
Saludos.
My husband's from Wilmington. How about your makeup? Are you a makeup artist? Is makeup cheaper there?
So, hold on. So my wife is a licensed esthetician as well.
You guys, I did a lot of things that I wish I just, like when I was younger, I went to school to be an esthetician, and the only thing I really got from it is like giving my kids facials. But I also went to school to be a medical assistant, and I graduated, and I passed my state boards, and I went to my internship for that. And like at my internship, I was like, I love when I walk into the room and I can make people feel joyful and comfortable, but I hated giving shots. But now that skill comes in handy because I have to give my animals injections, so I know how to do certain things, so it wasn't all for waste. But also I felt like it was like, again, the American, like, you have to find something to do right now, instead of just being a mom. I wish I would have known when I was younger, it's okay to just be a mom. That's what I wanted to be all along.
Go back down real quick.
Someone said, I want to send your children some gifts, but I'm not sure what size to send them. I can tell you their age, and they're all about average size. My daughter's almost 15, my boy's 11, Annabelle's 7, Annabelle's 8, and Penelope's 6. No wonder, Lefa, I was wondering how you could give injections and not be squeamish about it.
That was something I had to learn here because before, I don't know if, I know there's a lot more people watching us now. So when we first got here, we ended up with 120 chickens. We had 4 calves. We had 4 sheep. We had a horse. We had 30 quail, like 4 ducks, 30 rabbits.
So many degrees in June.
What else did we have?
We had a lot. We started off rough. We started off with too much. We were like, let's just jump into it, which again is like the American culture. Instead, but here in Mexico, they say poquito poquito, like little by little. And in the United States, it's like go big, go big, go big. So when we got to Mexico, we started too big. And we really had to take a bunch of steps down before we could start building up.
How would a horse contribute to your ranch?
Oh, it would contribute to my joy and happiness. To be honest with you guys, like I have to walk every single day to the school. I wouldn't mind getting like some of the people in our ranch still ride donkeys around. I swear to you, I could get a donkey and ride around with the little lunches in the back. But a horse is something I will not rush. Because horses in Mexico are trained a little bit differently, and I wouldn't rush into it. I would want me and my husband, I'd want it to just be something we take our time, think about it, and it'd have to be a very safe family horse. But my kids would love a horse at the right time.
We should go down because we missed a whole bunch of long questions.
Do a cooking channel. Do you guys still have to come back to the States for work, and are you officially staying? We're officially staying in Mexico. How would a horse contribute? Nina's putting on lots of salsa. Is it spicy? They love spicy on everything.
Not only salsa, my Annabelle eats jalapenos like nothing.
She'll take a bite of the jalapeno and then a bite of her taco. They love spice. Hi Lalo and Aaron, you guys make us want to move to Mexico. I've shared your story with so many family and friends. My husband is disappointed when I watch your vlogs without him. Oh,
That's funny.
Oh, Irma, thank you so much. That's funny because when me and my husband lived in the States, that was a family thing we did, was we'd sit down with all our kids and we'd watch homesteading vlogs.
So I want to tell you guys, our decision to move to Mexico wasn't like, I don't know how to describe that. It wasn't something that we just thought about. You know what I mean? Like I had to come get my residency, but I didn't know that I could make a living off of doing random jobs. I just didn't know that. I thought that I had to go to work for somebody and I was gonna get a wage and that was it. So when I came to Mexico, I seen people like that story about the kid I was telling you guys about. That literally opened my eyes to, I can do several things with this. And at the time when I went back to Michigan, I started watching a lot of people on YouTube that were starting homesteads. And that gave me even more ideas of things that I could do to live off the land and live, not dependent on a company or or somebody else.
And that's true. There's not as many, the government isn't as restricting in Mexico, and I guess it isn't as strict. So if I decide tomorrow I want to open a taco restaurant from my house, I can do that. I can open the doors and I can open a taco restaurant tomorrow, and tables and chairs and food, and nobody's going to say anything. People are just going to come eat tacos. You don't have to put your life savings into trying to work at your dreams whatsoever.
Somebody said what jobs? So everything I just mentioned. So I consider me being able to grow my own food an income because I don't have to spend money on food. I could work the property that makes me. I tell you right now, 40% or 50% of the people that live here live off of what they harvest.
Probably
for that whole
even
year.
more than that.
Yeah, for that whole year. So one property is giving them 100% of their income for the year.
Someone on here also mentioned, like I said, if you want to open a restaurant, and they said, oh, somebody would get food poisoning. So I'm going to tell you, I think in our rancho, like I said, there's a different level of respect and care for family members. I can't even tell you how clean people are here. It is, and it's fresh food that they brought that day, and you see it in front of you. There's no hidden kitchen. You see everything in front of you cooked. I have never gotten food poisoning. I don't think I've ever gotten food poisoning in Mexico.
I haven't either.
Now we have gotten parasites. That's a part of living in a tropical climate. But also, I didn't understand how much of the Mexican diet can help prevent parasites, like raw cucumber. They eat so much raw cucumber. Papaya seeds, all these wonderful things that can help prevent them that we didn't know about coming here. People laughing in the back.
It's tropical land. Oh my gosh.
It is a tropical climate here.
It's just, again, a lot of people are creative here. They're doing a lot of the work that, nobody wants to do. And they make it work. They see a need for something and they make it happen.
Right, exactly.
And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to live off of every source of income that I can.
It is dry heat in Mexico, except during the rainy season. Hello guys, New Zealand.
Like drug trafficking. No, not like.
Mexican people are very clean. Yes, very, very clean. Your own fruit plants. Yes, we have a whole tropical plant yard in the back. We have a bunch of fruit trees. We have lemon, mango, we have banana, we have avocado. They're beautiful.
There's peach, there's apples.
I tell everyone about your channel. I'm obsessed. Oh, thank you, Jessica, so much. Okay, let me see. What is the hottest it gets there? We're in the 120s in Las Vegas. We get about, I think the hottest it got during the heat wave was about 105. We don't have air conditioners, but our house stays really cool.
But we don't have, it's not because we don't want air conditioner, we don't have it.
Right. A lot of people don't here though.
Yeah, they
it's
don't.
very. I think I've seen 2 houses in our ranch,
Mm-hmm.
and those people don't even live here. So
Yeah.
they live in the States, and they
Yeah,
built
these
a
are-
new home and put an air conditioner on it.
Yeah, these houses are abandoned like most of the year.
Those jalapeno plants. Just started watching you guys a week ago, and we've seen almost all your videos. You're such great people. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much, Garcia family. Good
Can anyone
afternoon.
move into your community?
We were just talking about that earlier, and not just anybody can move into the rancho we live in because it's part of an ejido. It's kind of like in the United States how they have tribal land, and it's protected. So if somebody who was not Hispanic just wanted to come buy a home here, the people of the ejido would have to approve it and
So-
say yes or no.
So the way that works is there's a whole committee for the ejido. So say I wanted to become an ejido, even though I was born here, I'd have to own property here. So either my parents would have to, you know, and I would have to inherit that property here, and to be even considered part of the ejido. So until that happens, I can't do any of that, and I also can't, sell my property off to some random person from somewhere else.
No, it has to be approved. And that's not in all places in Mexico. We live close to Lake Chapala y Ajijic, and a lot of people from the States retire there and they can just go and buy and sell. But because this is still considered indigenous and is part of an ejido, that can't happen here. We show how to make that red and green sauce that you guys pour over everything. Looks delicious. Yes, I can do that for you guys. Hello from Chicago. I'm from Hamai. Oh wow. I'm posting my vlog tonight and we went and visited Hamai, you guys. It was so beautiful. So beautiful. All over in green, like you say, your kids eat everything. Come here, guys. You can come say hi. Thank you for the
Man,
information.
I'm gonna try
Kiki,
and
come
get
here.
I'm gonna try and get
Okay.
a video of all the bats that come out of that cave.
No, it scares me. Bats
Why?
scare me.
So there's like millions and millions.
I don't like all that. Oh, thank you so much. Do you want to say hi? All right, you guys.
She said I need that sauce.
Telling a friend about you. Girl, Penelope.
And somebody wants to know if you feel weird being a foreigner here.
At first I did, and it was scary. I didn't know if I could do it because I felt like I kept messing everything up. My mom inherited an ejido. Wow. Okay, so this person right here said, from Rudy, she said, my mom inherited an ejido of 2.5 to 3 acres, and she gave to a family member just for them to keep in the family. And yes, the thing is that you can do that, but so say that person she gave it to decided 20 years later, I'm going to give it to my son or daughter and they're going to go build on it. So in our community, my husband and his mom had a problem with a piece of land they had that they wanted to fence in. So it's such a big community thing if the community decides to fight against it, or if they're just like okay with it. And I'm not going to get into all of that because it was a lot, but land here in Mexico is so special and stuff that people, I feel like, are very possessive over it. Like, this is our family's land, almost.
Well, not only that, but like me and my younger brother were both born here. And back in the day, we would have got a piece of property to build a house on. Not a huge piece of property. I think it was 20 meters by 17 meters. just to be able to build a house on, and be, um, you know, and that's just because we were part of this ejido. I don't think anybody that was born outside of here can do that.
Right. Just be you and speak your Spanish how you can and don't ever give up. Oh, thank you so much. Somebody over here. Somebody said, did you face racism in the States? It's funny because I don't feel like I have faced racism in Mexico. I feel like people stop and stare at me sometimes, but I feel like everybody has been very calm, very kind, and I've never got a mean comment. But I feel like in the States it was harder for you.
Not just for me, like, Abigail started noticing, people kind of staring at her in the store, and I don't know if anybody ever said anything for her to be like Mexican, because when Abigail was going to school in the States, I think it was just her and another girl that
Were Hispanic. She went to a majority white school, and that was just because of the area we lived in. But it was funny because we didn't know Abby's the oldest, and she spent the most time going to school in the States. She came here closer to 5th grade. And so she struggled in school so bad. She did not have friends. She did not like going. So when she came to Mexico, she cried so hard. She did not want to go to school. And me and my husband were really worried about it. And she is thriving. The whole grade is her friend. She fits in so well. And I don't know if it's because she's Hispanic and her whole entire school is Hispanic. But I do know in the States,
I think she also has like a sense of wanting to belong here. If you guys watch her Reina video, she gave a speech in that. That oh my gosh.
they're playing in the background.
She gave a speech in that kind of expressed how she felt about what she was doing. I don't know if you guys are welcome to go watch that.
She tells me all the time, she's like, just so you know, I'm not going back to the States. And I'm like, well, you'll be 18 soon enough. You can do whatever you want. Wants to come back to the U.S. and they get their professional students in the USA. Okay, so that is a good question. I do have a friend here who lives in Ocotlan, but her family is from Michigan. And what she did with her girls is she had them, they went to school all the way through in Mexico, but then when they came back, they'd always come back for the summers. And I think when they were like 16, they'd come back for the summer and she'd have them take their GED. And then they would come back and finish school in Mexico, because she was the one that told me that their GED in the United States or whatever professional thing they went into would be good in Mexico and in the States. And that's why when she'd go back in the summer, she'd have them take their GED. So I think for my kids, we will kind of do the same thing. They know enough English and they'd be able to study. So once they turn probably 16, if we go back for the summer, they would try to take their GED, so that if any of my kids decide to go to the United States, if they want to go to college or trade or whatever it is, I support that. I would never force my kids to live here in Mexico. Just like I don't want my family forcing me to be in the United States. Whatever their will is, or whatever their gifts are, wherever God leads them, that is where I will support them.
Well, I was gonna say something.
Do you know how to make tamales? Actually, yes, I do, and I make really good tamales. But here in Mexico, normally you only make them for certain seasons or certain fiestas. But recently, I've been thinking about them a lot. So maybe me and my suegra will make them one day. Sorry we didn't see my message again tonight.
Hey, Alexander, I'm so sorry.
I know they're going through so fast. Your kids are learning so much by living the simple life. They're so respectful, good natured. Thank you so much to all those neighbors, to Airbnb, those houses. I'm coming. Hi, Erin, miss you. Hi. Oh, Marina, I worked with her. Hi. Erin, your family is Latin father and mother. I heard it.
What are you saying at the quinceañera?
Oh, I don't know yet, you guys. I'm keeping it short and sweet. That's what I'm gonna say because I have to do it in Spanish. And the dance teacher actually just kind of went over this with me, and she's like, "You do need to do it," because I'm an avoider and I'll wait till last minute. But or I might express myself in a slideshow.
No, you're not allowed to do that.
Oh no. I cried. Oh, thank you so much. She practiced so hard for that. Here, hon, careful because this is gonna tip. I gotta go check on him.
So Edgar, yeah, most of the bigger houses here are vacation homes. They're usually not, or they're usually vacant most of the year. This is what happened.
You're jumping on the bed.
Was it an accident?
Oh, come here. Look at people when they say hi to you. They said you look so beautiful. And PB just had her graduation. You guys, did you like it? It was a super special day. She got special gifts. You got special dress. Kindergarten was rough for Penelope. She's the only one who does not like going to school.
Somebody asked if your hair was red. Like
Yes,
usually.
I have not dyed my hair in years. People in the ranch ask me that. They'll literally touch my hair and they're like, "Is this like real? Is it really red?" And I'm like, "Yeah." But I got it from my grandma. Nobody else in my family has red hair. Hi, Pee-Pee. Congrats. Look at they put a little confetti thing in a little wave. She's a hi, Pee-Pee. Wait till they see how beautiful your red dress is. It's so beautiful. And you guys, Penelope is starting the elementary school with Cristiano and Annabelle. So she gets to go to school and have lunch and recess with them. Let's see. Hi, Pee-Pee. Oh, feliz graduación, Penelope. And you guys, graduations in Mexico, like kindergarten, getting out of elementary, getting out of middle school, is huge. It's like high school graduations. I'm never prepared for it. It's just so much, isn't it?
Oh man, it's so much. I feel like we always have so much to do here, but then also like it makes the time go by, and you know we still feel like we still have time to spend time with each other, even though we have so much going on. It's weird.
Stay by mommy. Congratulations, Penelope. So proud of you. See where all the hearts are? They're so proud of you,
Listen,
best
can you tell
friend.
everybody if you liked kindergarten or not?
You didn't like kindergarten? It was only 3 hours a day, and every time I'd pass, they'd be outside playing. Baby, why do you like it? It's because you're a vacation baby. She's a vacation baby. She loves summer vacation, that's for sure. Hello from Juarez.
Saludos a todos de Juárez.
Someone said, "No llores, Pee-Pee." El Paso, Texas, and some rain. Okay, we'll make you some quesadillas. Okay. Tell Amber she has to be nice to you, okay? Seen your videos a month ago and I just forgot to subscribe, but I did now. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hi from the channel. Okay, and somebody asked about our dogs. And we bought both of our German Shepherds in Michigan. And when we moved to Mexico, we had to buy these big crates and put them in cargo, and we had to get a bunch of vet certificates. So they're here now, but I will never travel with them again unless we're driving. It was
a lot.
hard. I'm homeschooling and uncommon. Yeah, I don't know anybody.
Marcos, gracias.
Someone said is homeschooling uncommon in Mexico. I don't know anybody who homeschools. If I would have stayed in the States, I would have homeschooled my kids. But in the ranch, not one single person homeschools their kids. Give Pee some tacos with salsa. She would love that. When we're done on the lives, we're gonna go out to the plaza and see what they're selling. I wish I couldn't time to babysit as a couple and you need your date time. I know we need a cita so bad, you guys. I would love that, but it's just part of having kids, so it's okay. Oh, someone said.
Listen, but it's funny how even if we did go on a date in the States, we were always wondering what the kids were doing.
Yeah, and then we feel bad that they're missing out on the good food we're eating.
Yeah.
I enjoy my kids enjoying the things we're doing. Aaron, your Spanish is great y muchas gracias, pero es más o menos. Write a book about your adventures. How was the weekend in the rancho? What time is it there? I love your salsa and quesadillas. Oh, thank you. Seeing school in Mexico really makes me realize how crazy U.S. schools are. Yeah, U.S. schools are just completely different. Watching live from Houston in the dark due to hurricane. Oh, wow. I'll be praying for you guys that everything is okay. I did see that. I seen a hurricane going through, but I didn't know where it was going. Oh, congratulations on her. I can't wait to post the graduation vlog, you guys.
Oh, yes, we did use the new coffee maker. I don't mess around without coffee.
He doesn't. We actually went and got fresh ground coffee in Ocotlan today. Practice.
Hold on, you gotta show them the size of the bag I got, okay?
But can you grab the coffee bag right there so I can show them? It smells so good though. It fills the whole entire house. It's like it smells like McDonald's just because the coffee is so strong.
It does. Yeah, grab that one, bud.
Prayers for Houston. It's really bad. Okay, so he has his mark on it, but he grinds the coffee right in front of you. And this is, look how big that is.
It's a kilo of coffee.
It smells so good. Hello from Pennsylvania. Good night. God bless you and your family. All right, you guys. How many siblings does Lalo have? Lalo has 3. There's 4 altogether. I have 3. There's 4 altogether. How do people send you stuff? So on our main YouTube page, if you go in like the description, there is a P.O. box. Saludas. Does this say Oaxaca? Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so incredible, you guys. I just subscribed to your channel. Oh, thank you so much. Me gusta como adaptido los animales, mujer, como todos, comen mucho picante. Ah, thank you so much, Maria. All right, you guys.
Mommy wants to come out.
She lost one of her teeth?
Yeah, but we don't know where it is. So we just swallowed it.
No, she didn't.
Hopefully we didn't knock it out or something.
Okay, Annabelle just lost her tooth, so we're gonna go find that. But it was so nice doing a live with you guys. We're gonna try to do them more often. Tonight it will probably load by tomorrow morning. I am posting Penelope's graduation and the ruins in Hamai,
Don't forget
Jalisco.
the story video.
I'm gonna let my husband do that. I can't watch it, you guys. But thank you everybody for watching, and thank you everybody who supports our family, and not just our family. The Mexican families here, the kids here. It is such a blessing for them. So after the graduation vlog, I'm going to be doing a vlog of the boys going back to get their belts and hats. But thank you so much, everybody. I hope all of you have a really good night. Buenas noches, todos.
Buenas noches. Muchísimas gracias por estar aquí y apoyar el canal.
Good night, everybody.
Buenas noches.